Hey, welcome back to the Bound by Art podcast. I'm Missi Blue, tattoo artist, business owner, and your guide to navigating the chaos that is the tattoo industry. If you're an artist looking to grow your business, attract the right clients, and learn how to survive this career without losing your damn mind, then you are in the right place. Every week, I'll be bringing real talk, actionable tips, and hard-earned lessons from my own journey with a side of good vibes and a little bit of sarcasm. Whether you're new to the game, feeling stuck, or you just need a kick in the ass to get that spark back again, this is the show for you. Welcome to Bound by Art. Now let's get to work. Okay, a little disclaimer. What I'm about to talk about in no way represents how my business operates currently. This is all just like past experiences and things that I did completely wrong, things I wish I'd known then, and how I do it all differently now. My business is currently the best that it's ever been, and I love the people that I get to work with and the environment that we've built so much, and I'm so grateful. However, the road to get here was not paved with gold. It was definitely full of potholes and speed bumps and full-on roadblocks, and I had to learn that being the cool boss is not actually that cool. So how exactly did I get here? Let me just examine this for a moment, because when I think back to why I did the things that I did and why I made the choices that I made, I think it kind of comes down to one thing, that I just have this like constant need to be accepted. And I just wanted to be a different kind of boss. I didn't want to be seen as the boss. I didn't want to be the bad guy. I worked in so many shops where the owner was demonized and they were hated by everyone that worked there. And I just really didn't want to be that person. And I didn't want to be that kind of a boss, which I don't think I am. I think that there was real reasons behind why people felt the way that they felt about those owners, but I just desperately didn't want to be that kind of a boss. I wanted to be better than that. I wanted to be their friend. I wanted to be their coworker. And I do still think of everyone as my coworkers. I don't feel like, I sometimes feel like the boss, but like a lot of times I feel like it's a group effort and we're just like all coworkers here. But that was where this all kind of stemmed from in the beginning, was I just wanted to be cool, I wanted to be everybody's friend. The truth of that is you can't be friends, honestly. There's always going to be a little bit of a wall. Like I do consider my coworkers my friends. I do. You can only get so close. And there's you and there's them. And it's always going to be like that. That's always going to be in the back of your mind. That's always going to be in the back of their mind. You're always going to be seen as the boss. It's just different. And that's okay. It's fine. It's just not realistic to expect them to see you as a friend and as a peer, because it's just not how it actually is. And you can't be surprised when they treat you like a boss and you thought you were their friend. So you just have to have this realistic expectations. Otherwise, you're just kind of setting yourself up for failure in that realm anyway. A lot of times in the past, I felt like the mom, like the mom of the group. I feel like I get in that position a lot. Just in a lot of different situations that I've been in, I always kind of end up being the mom of the group or whatever. But I always felt like, like the mom from the Mean Girls movie. Like, I'm not like regular mom. I'm a cool mom. So, but I just got to this point where I kind of overstepped, I think, and I got too involved in their personal lives. And I never wanted to be seen as a mom at all. Like, at least not their mom. Like, I am a mom, but I don't want to be their mom. I definitely don't want to acknowledge that there's that big of an age gap between us to be considered their mom. But from my perspective, I was just a friend giving a friend advice. And from their perspective, they looked up to me as a mother figure. And there's an actual situation with a past, with someone who worked with me in the past who really did see me as a mother figure in their life. All jokes aside, they really didn't have a great relationship with their own mother, and I kind of like fit the bill. And so I was seen as this mother figure, and it didn't really, I didn't know this, this was something that was said to other people, but not to me. Had I known that's how she saw me, maybe I would have acted differently in some situations, but I just, I didn't know. I didn't know I was like replacing something. So it's tough. And, then there is this expectation of how I'm supposed to act and how I'm supposed to treat them. And, um, you know, not giving them enough attention or not caring enough or caring in the right way or giving attention in the right way. And they're they just had this like unspoken expectation of me and then blamed me for not meeting that expectation, which feels totally unfair to me, but I also was kind of oblivious because I wasn't really paying attention. I wasn't really aware. And I definitely could have talked more with them and fully figured these things out. But it caused this like unspoken grudge that was held against me for a long time. And there was a situation where, like, I'm a very sarcastic person. I'm always making sarcastic jokes. I'm almost never serious, like just in a work environment. Like it's very rare for me to just be like have a very serious like conversation or to um say something shitty and actually like I'm actually being shitty. Like if it sounds fucked up, it's a joke. But and I thought, we were on that level and that, I just assume everybody can take sarcasm like I do. It's just like my love language. So there was a situation where I blurted some shit out that I said jokingly and it went very badly. And it was held against me for a long time and I didn't know it was happening. So like I said, like there was this kind of expectation because I sort of did it to myself by putting myself in the situation where I'm like caring and I like feel like I need to help everybody and give them advice. And I've just always kind of been that person. I don't know, maybe I push my advice on people or maybe I try to help too much or like overstep that boundary maybe a little bit. And something I probably need to figure out and work on, but it comes from this loving and caring place. Like I feel like a natural teacher. Like I always want to help people and teach people. And I've always found myself in positions where I am an advisor or a mediator or a trainer or a coach or a manager. I just naturally end up there. And maybe I'm like a know-it-all. I God, I hope that I don't come across as a know-it-all, but I don't know shit. I know my life experience and I try to like if somebody asks me how to do something or my opinion on something, I'm going to try and help. I'm going to try and tell them like what I've learned in my life and how maybe what I've gone through could somehow apply to them and what they're going through and maybe I could save them from the struggles that I've had to endure in my life. I don't know, but I always kind of wind up in this position. So putting myself in this position where I am this caretaker of sorts, like I kind of set myself up to also get taken advantage of, unfortunately. So have you ever been like in this situation where you're like, yeah, no, that's totally cool, no worries, but inside you're like, screaming because you're like, no, I hate this. I don't want this. But you're just trying to be cool. Like, you don't want to be a dick and you're just trying to be like super cool about it before you realize what you're saying. You said too much and you agreed to too much. And you did actually care when you said that you didn't. Maybe this is just like the former people pleaser in me because I really am not this way anymore. But I used to be very much a people pleaser and very much like not trying to rock the boat, not trying to cause any kind of like confrontation or stir things up. In certain situations. I think in other situations, I'm very much trying to stir things up and start shit. But the people that I care about and that are close to me, I really tried to protect those relationships, or so I thought I was protecting them by being super agreeable. And like I said, I didn't want to be the overbearing boss. So I was trying to be the cool boss. So I'm just like, yeah, no, totally fine. Like, whatever. I'm cool. But really, inside, I did care and it was not cool. And then it gets to the point where you want to say something, but too much time has passed and now you just can't. And there was a situation where, fuck it, I don't care. I'm gonna talk about it. So there was a situation where I was basically renting a space to another small business, and they came to me and asked, like, they're going through a bunch of stuff. Could they skip rent for 2 months? And me being this person that's like, oh my God, I have to take care of everyone around me. Everyone has to be okay. I need to make sure that no one is suffering. Blurting out just, yes, absolutely. Like, no problem. Like, don't even worry about it without even thinking. So, never sitting down to discuss like what the terms of this agreement are. Um, Never asked them to repay me. I assumed that, you know what they say. So I assumed that the type of person that they were, and I assumed they would want to repay me. I assumed that they would be good for it, and without even asking for that, I just agreed to it. I just wanted to like stop their hurting and like ended up hurting myself in the long run. So, lesson learned, but in the moment, I was actually about to say like I need you to take over this lease. Like I can't do this anymore because I was covering extra bills and I'm like this is a added expense. It's like none of my business really. Like I don't want this anymore. I was about to just ask them to take it over and they came to me with that and my dumbass is like, "Yeah, absolutely. Don't pay me. Like don't give me money. I don't need it." When I actually really did need it. So anyway, lesson learned. We don't make financial decisions based on emotions anymore, and we don't make any decisions like that without sitting down with the bookkeeper and discussing things like, I don't know if I could do that anymore. But and then in the moment, that was a bad idea. So sometimes, being super lenient and super cool goes pretty badly, and you let things slide, and you don't want to be nitpicky, and you pick and choose your battles because no one wants to be seen as this micromanager and overbearing boss. So you're just being cool, letting it slide, not going to get worked up over anything. And so I never said anything, never asked for it back. It's really on me. Like I can't even blame them because I didn't ask for it. There was no agreement. It was just like you're skipping rent for 2 months. Got you covered, and that was it. So anyway, being the cool boss and just letting things slide, not always the best. It gets to this point where things start to kind of feel like they're getting out of control. You start to feel things getting away from you, and it happens so slowly that it's like it's so smooth, such a smooth, slow transition that you don't really realize how out of control it really is until you look around and you're like, fuck, what happened? This is not where I meant to be. I did not mean to end up here doing this. Like somewhere along the way, I took a wrong turn, changed direction, and now we're on an entirely different trajectory than when we were where we were supposed to be. So you really start seeing these signs that whatever's happening and the people around you are not really a good fit, and it's not going well. But you can't let other people come into your business and decide for you what you're going to be about, what you're going to stand for, how you're going to do things. And you have to have a clear vision from the start on what you want for your business and stand firm on it. Because when someone comes in and they try to shake things up and do things their way and change things, and you're just this agreeable person, next thing you know, you own a business that you like doesn't look anything like you or what you wanted, and nothing is familiar, and you feel like almost like the rug was just like pulled out from under you. You're like, what the fuck's happening? So you have to have that clear vision of what you want. And when you find that something doesn't fit and something doesn't feel right, you have to be able to let it go, whether that's a person or a project or whatever it might be. If this doesn't work and this isn't what you meant to be doing, you have to stop the bleeding and fix it, right? So now that I have stopped being this people pleaser boss and the cool boss and the agreeable boss, I've come to this realization that I'm not actually for everyone. And I know that it's hard to work for me. And that's on purpose. I used to be this person that was like, I want everyone to think that I'm cool and like the best boss. And I want everyone to enjoy working with me and just get along with me. And really, like, that that's not even realistic. Everyone's not going to like me. I don't know why. I think I'm pretty cool, but reality is there's people out there that fucking hate me and they think I'm annoying or like they don't like the way that I do things or they think I'm a bitch or whatever it is. There's always going to be someone who doesn't like me. There's always going to be someone that doesn't like you. And that's okay because they're not meant for you. They're not meant to be in your space and you don't want them to end up there. And that's what has happened in the past is that me trying to be agreeable and trying to make sure everybody likes me and doesn't think that I'm like the mean boss was letting in people that didn't belong here, people that didn't fit in here and it wasn't a good fit. So I know it's hard to work for me. It's totally on purpose. I'm trying to weed out those ones that aren't on the same path as the rest of us. And I don't mean like it's hard to work for me because I'm so mean and terrible now. I mean, it's hard because I'm always pushing myself and the people around me to grow and be better. And if you're not that type of person, you're going to have a really bad time here. We love to keep each other on our toes, and that means that I have super high expectations. Everybody here has super high expectations. I expect everyone else to put in the same work that I do. Maybe not, okay, maybe not the same amount of work that I do because that's not even realistic for me. But I expect everybody to work hard and like put in effort and be passionate about their job. And I expect everyone else to want and to push for growth. And I expect everyone to be accountable for themselves and to hold me accountable as well. I have super high standards and we strive to put out the best work possible here. We want to give our clients the best experience possible. So we don't accept less than that. And when something isn't meeting our standards, we talk about it and we fix it. And I expect that everyone here that works here is going to match everyone else's efforts. And that includes me. If I'm slipping, I want to be told about it. And I expect to be told about it. From day one, I had a plan. I had a goal and a vision for what I wanted this business to be. And I have to constantly be reassessing now and making sure that I'm still on that right path. The things that I'm doing, the choices that I'm making going forward are super intentional, and the things that I'm putting my efforts into are meaningful and align with what I envisioned for my career and for the shop. And all of the things that I'm doing are representing the things that were important to me then and that are still important to me now, which can change. I can change my mind. I'm allowed. That happens, and there's nothing wrong with that. It turns out none of it's set in stone, right? I can be flexible and I can pivot where I need to. I can see where the changes need to be made. And as long as there is a good, solid reason for it and it makes sense and it's aligned with my goals and my vision, it's okay to pivot. It's okay to change. But I have to weigh in the overall benefit versus just being, super strict and stubborn on my original plan, because sometimes the original plan is trash and it's not going to work. And you don't just say, fuck it, this is the plan, we're going to stick to it. That makes me think about the episode on The Office where Michael Scott's like, he's driving and the GPS is telling him to turn left, and to turn left, there's a lake. And he's like, no, we're listening to the directions. And he just fucking turns and they end up in the lake, right? So sometimes the directions are wrong and you have to be able to change when it's needed. But I also have to know what my limits are and be ready to draw that line. So by actively naming what my non-negotiables are, it makes decision making real fucking easy. If I know for a fact I'm never going to hire somebody who does drugs here, if I encounter that situation, there's never going to be back and forth or debating what to do. I know that this is a no for me and I'm done, decisions made, moving on. I have to know what my minimum requirements are also. So these are the qualities and skills that I'm looking for. And if they don't have all of these, it's a no. And I have to constantly check in on trust and understanding and respect. And if we ever lose any of those, we need to reset and try to repair it. And if we can't just ignore it. These are the type of things that only get worse and worse over time. A lot of it is just kind of finding the balance. It's a constant balancing act. You have to know where you can bend the rules or change the process and when it's needed without going against your beliefs and your character or jeopardizing your integrity. It's a fine line between bending the rules or changing your process and then getting completely pulled off of track and losing your focus and forgetting what your own dreams and goals were. You have to know the difference and be aware of where you are on this map at all times. But it's all going to come back to your values. If you set a solid foundation and stand strong in your convictions and have that North Star that's always leading you back, all of your decisions are going to be based on these principles, and you'll always be able to check back in for alignment. And whenever you're in doubt, having that North Star will always help you realign with yourself and your beliefs. But you have to first recognize what's most important to you and what you stand for, the reputation that you want as a business and as a boss, and the story that you want your actions and the actions of your business as a whole to tell. All right, guys, that's it for today's episode. I hope you're feeling inspired and ready to make some moves today. Remember, it's all about showing up, putting in the work, and staying true to yourself. If you got something out of today's episode, share it with a friend who might need to hear it, and make sure to subscribe so we can keep this momentum going. Get updates on all of our latest episodes, events, and more by following us on social media at Bound by Art Project and by heading over to the website boundbyart.com. Thanks for hanging out and putting up with my shit. I'll see you next time. Now shut up, quit making excuses, and go get better.